Be patient, I'm reading at a 4th grade level here. Alright, I hope this speech comes off okay. I wrote it a couple hours ago while I was going to the bathroom. I've always heard if you're nervous to picture your audience naked. I think I'd rather just be nervous. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jeff. And for any of you single, good-looking girls here, I'd like to let you know I'm recently single and STD-free. Herpes on my leg. With that being said, it's an honor that out of Mike's 4 only friends, he chose me to be his best man. I guess the odds were in my favor. I believe it was a toss-up between Alex and I. But Mike had put his trust in me, I would be the more sober one. It was also a toss-up tonight between being Mike's best man or going to get a London Broil sandwich at the State Fair. But then Mike assured me that there would be an open bar, so it was a no-brainer. I just want to say, Kristen, you look absolutely amazing tonight. Along with the rest of the bridesmaids. Mike, you look very sexy as well. Groomsmen, of course we look good. I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight to celebrate mine and Mike's special day. I mean, Kristen and Mike's special day. Special thanks to the parents, Bob and Linda, Ron and Esther. This wouldn't have been possible without your sperm and egg, so thank you. I've known Mike since I was 12 years old. We met in 6th grade, and it was love at first sight. Actually, he was probably the most annoying kid you could ever meet. In school, Mike would try to trip me walking down the hallway. During lunch, he would shake my arm so whatever I was eating would fall on the floor. He would also punch my knees during gym class and all the other classes that we were in together. The list goes on and on. But as we grew older, you'd think Mike would have grown up or matured. But no. Mike thought it was funny when we would be in the store, the bank, or anywhere public to pretend he was my boyfriend and talk to me in a gay voice and call him Pepper. What has grown for Mike is his love for Kristen. How do I know this? Because Mike now looks at Kristen the same way he looks at me. What is love? Love is being patient, understanding, being loyal and caring. None of what I possess. But Mike, you will definitely need one thing. You will need patience with Kristen, as she's the only person I know who takes 3 hours to get ready for any occasion. Kristen, you will need lots of wine to deal with Mike. Mike, for all the times you've annoyed me and embarrassed me when we were younger, I'd like to try and offer a little payback. For those of you who don't know, Mike and I lived together for several years. When we lived at my parents' house, we actually slept in the same bed. Mike was the big spoon, and I was the little spoon. Although there was never any penetration, we had a bond that could never be broken. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Mike. Mike is the type of person who thinks it's funny when he takes a shit while having the shower running, then showers and opens the door and laughs about the steamy shit smell that comes out. What's even more disturbing is Kristen finds it funny as well. They even call it the Steve shit. Mike, do you know when I first realized you cared and loved Kristen? It was when I got home from work and you and Kristen just got into an argument and she left. Shortly after that, I heard you crying uncontrollably in your room. And I thought to myself, what a bitch. But it really showed me how much you loved and cared for her. Even though I don't ever think you thought that I heard you that day. Mike and Kristen are also the only couple I know who used to have a s'mores maker in their bedroom. Speaking of bedroom, Mike has a special name he likes to call himself. During his intimate times with Kristen, he calls himself the Aztec Warrior. And that's not a lie. He gets down.
Good God.
One night, about 15 years ago, sure Ron and Esther might recall this one, Mike, Brandon, and I were bored, so we decided to buy a couple cartons of eggs. We then camped out in front of KFC in Firestone on Route 11, about 11:30 p.m., waiting for a car to hit. We hit the first car we came by. They slammed on their brakes, got out, chasing us through Home Depot's parking lot. Brandon and I, being the faster, skinnier ones, left Mike behind. Then Mike yelled to us, and I will never forget it, "Jeff, Brandon, don't leave me!" It's the most scared I've ever seen Mike in my life. I didn't wait for him, but Brandon did slow down and push his ass over the fence. So Mike ended up making it over the fence, barely, but got caught a few minutes later by the cops. They made him clean all the egg off the car. Then they brought him back to Ron and Esther's house at 1 a.m., which I sure wasn't too pleasant. Mike, thank you, Lisa. I was going to give you some relationship pointers of my own, but most of my relationships don't last very long. So all I could come up with is that it's usually the woman's fault. So I searched the internet, like any logical guy would do, for some relationship tips. And here's what I came up with. Leave the toilet seat down, but train her to put it up. Thank you, Josh. Never go to bed arguing, stay up and argue. Two secrets to keep your marriage going. Whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, shut up. And the best way to remember your anniversary is to forget it once. Now, can I have all the couples please turn and face each other and look deeply in your eye, or look deeply into each other's eyes? That means all of you guys. Now, statistically speaking, you're staring at the person most likely to murder you. Now, I'd like everyone to raise their glasses for a toast. Here's to our wives and girlfriends. May they never meet. Haha, you guys are sick. But anyways, all kidding aside, I just wanted to say, I love you guys. Mike, you're like the Mexican brother I never had. I wish you both happiness for the rest of your lives. And to remind you, Mike, not to screw this up. And Kristen, remember, I slept with him first. To Mike and Kristen.